And we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. Today, we're just going to talk about basically, we've come a long way. And before we can talk about where I'm at, let's talk about where you are. And I have a question for you. You know, when you've decided to go on a trip, a journey, and you put in your address or the destination, something happens when you do that on the GPS. What is it? It gives you the estimated time of arrival. It gives you the route. It gives you the distance. It gives you potential traffic patterns. It gives you just about everything when it comes to, the direction. It also even gives you alternatives. It would say, you know what? It looks like this way is 10 minutes slower. It looks like this way is 5 minutes faster. It looks like this is the best way to go. So when you drop your destination into the GPS, it automatically tells you exactly what you need to know. So what is a journey? Here's what a journey is. I looked it up right on Google. And it says to go from here to there. To travel, I think it was an act of traveling from one place to another. Going somewhere. So if, you've come a long way, you've been on a journey, typically one of the biggest mistakes that we make when it comes to going our way, when it comes to going a direction, is we put in nothing. I'm going to say that again. We don't put in a destination. What we do is we hope that something happens because we're moving. And you know what? Something does happen when you're moving. Here's the thing. Nothing specific happens because you're moving. So when we go somewhere, when we decide, I'm going to go to this place. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to transform my life into this kind of life. I'm going to make the change that I've always been looking to make. I'm going to do this particular thing, and this is the direction I'm going to go. When we do that, we give ourselves an opportunity to actually look back and say, wow, we've come a long way. The premise of today's podcast was simple. I was thinking about something to talk about, and I looked at the podcast episode number. It's 777. I was like, wow, that's perfection right there. Triple-fied. So I said, wow, what an awesome and incredible day to be alive. And the fact that I remember when it was podcast number 1, back in 2020, and we're at 777. So just something that I'm looking at. I've come a long way, but here's one of the biggest mistakes that I personally made. I didn't set a destination. Ooh, Jay, you didn't set a destination? No, I didn't. I didn't set a destination. I was just going. I was just making my way. So I would tell you the reason why I know it's a mistake is because I made it. So I made a mistake. I didn't set a destination, but I'm at a moment where perfection has shown up. You've gone so far that you can't help but notice the fact that, 777 episodes. Now that's an accomplishment. Not that I'm trying to give myself an attaboy, a touch on the back. Not that I'm doing that. I'm saying, well, all right, let's talk about us. Let's talk about us. Why? Because you're here and I'm here. And I recently discovered how a principle works. Not recently, because this happened as soon as my wife came to work with us. My wife came to work with me, and it was almost like there was an instant. Well, it wasn't instant, but there was a growth that happened within that first the first couple of years. And it was like we tripled because they were from 1, from 1 to 2. But what I've discovered in the kingdom, the addition is different. It's actually multiplication. It's not like 1 + 1 is 2. It's like 1 + 1 is 10. And because 1 + 1 is 10, oh man, what in what? How does that even work? Like that is really crazy, right? That is really crazy that 1 + 1 could equal 10. How could that be when we've all studied math? What's going on, Brittany? Brittany's a math major. Brittany, there's no 1 + 1 equals 10 in math. Nope. No, 1 times 10 is 10, but not 1 + 1. But in the kingdom, 1 + 1 could be 10. 1 + 1 could be 5. 1 + 1 could be 3. It's always more than. So when I'm talking about coming a long way, when I'm talking about a journey, when I'm talking about looking back and saying to yourself, wow, look at this is the trip up here. Look at what I did. Uh-uh. It's not look at what I did. Look at what God is doing. God is doing something in our life. God is looking to multiply in your life through an addition. Here's the thing, a lot of times we don't understand the addition, so we actually never get to multiply. We've come a long way. And when we look at a journey and we set the destination, we put an address in, and then we look at the fact that, oh man, yesterday, me and my good friend Shauna, we met and we had a meeting, and where we met is in an area around where she lives, which is, without traffic, it's about an hour and 15 minutes. But with traffic, it could be an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I'm going to tell you, I put the GPS in and I was like, hour and 28 minutes. Oh no. I was like, dang, I saw all the red, got better. But here's the thing. On the way, there's express. See, there's an opportunity that you and I can be going in a direction. There's a traffic jam, but you will have an opportunity to go faster. I want you to think about, yep, you will have an opportunity to go faster. And I was on the highway. Now, in our area, there's some express lanes. Now, they only give you one opportunity in the express lane. So the express lanes was coming up. I wasn't paying attention to the GPS. When you are on your journey, when you're going down the road and you have set the destination, you have to pay attention to where you're going, because by paying attention to where you're going, you can see what's going to happen. I could have looked at my GPS. Oh, shoot, look at that. Look at all the red lights. And then there's the expressway coming. Now, here's the thing about the expressway. The expressway has one entrance. You either enter at the beginning or you don't enter. So here was I'm driving, and I'm just like, the cost of the expressway was not even a little bit high. It was high. It was like, think about this. You go through Easy Pass. You've been through the pass where the tolls is $1, $2. It was like, if you're gonna go all the way down here, it's gonna be $20. What? It's gonna be $20. If you want to go all the way down there, it's gonna be $20. I looked at it, I said $20. I'd never been in traffic this way. It's not gonna be that bad. And as soon as the expressway closed, I said, oh my goodness. Because all of a sudden, it was like wall-to-wall traffic. Now, luckily, traffic wasn't as bad. But here's the thing. You always get another opportunity. See, when you're on a long road, you're going to make a mistake. I'm going to make a mistake. And when you make the mistake, you got to know that, well, you know what? I'm not going to make that mistake again. When that happens again, the next time I'm going to take the right road. On the way home, I looked down. It was going to be 2 hours to get home. I was like, oh my goodness. It was like 3:45. I'm like, what? But I said, there's an express road. I don't care how much it costs. I said, I don't care how much it costs. I'm taking the express lane. And you know what? As soon as it opened up, I was in the express lane. It was crazy because the GPS didn't understand what was happening. The GPS was like, no, it should be taking you this long. Then the GPS was like, what are you doing? Like, huh? We're going faster because it was stop traffic. Have you ever been like had an opportunity to go fast and you said no? And then the next time you said yes, look, cut off 30 minutes. That's how much traffic I was in. See, guys, when you're on the when you're on the road of life, when you're on the journey, you put your destination in, you you can see what's going to happen on your road. You literally can see it. You're saying to yourself, look at the traffic right there. Is there any way to avoid it? Is there any detours? And I took the express road. The express road ended. Everything's cool. But then I needed to take a detour. And I made sure it was crazy how the detours showed up. I said, I'm going to follow my detours from the GPS. See, life is the same way, guys. See, that's why we do the Account for Life podcast, because everything that happens in life can be translated right back into everything that we're doing, meaning your business. You have a business, which means that every day or some days you're going to wake up and you're going to have to navigate. You're going to have to drop on the express road. Some days you're going to have to take a detour. Some days you're going to have to say to yourself, man, I'm going to be sitting in traffic today. I'm probably going to lose time, but I'm still going to get there. See, just because we come a long way doesn't mean we don't have to detour along the way. I'm gonna say it again. Just because we come a long way, don't means we don't have to detour along the way. And I detoured, and it was like, man, I avoided. I probably saved myself 5, maybe 8 minutes. But you know what? It felt better than being in more traffic. So there you have it, right? When you're on a journey, and there's times before you get to where you're going, you got to sit up and look up. You got to say, man, where am I? 7, 7, 7. Perfection. Triplified. God is doing something major in your life. How do I know it? 7, 7, 7. 777 episodes. And these episodes, even though I'm in the episodes, they're not about me. I'm saying, even though I'm in all the episodes. Sometimes I'm the star. Sometimes I'm the supporting cast. Sometimes I'm the producer. Sometimes I'm the writer. But it's not me. See, we just have to realize that looking at your destination, looking at your GPS, looking at the journey that you are traveling, you got to sometimes stand up and say, wait a second, where exactly am I on the journey? Wow, I've gotten further than I realized. Wow, this is amazing. Wow, look at what God is doing in my life. What? I know it's been hard. I know there's a traffic jam coming up. I know that I'm going to have to take a detour. I know that I'm going to have to pay a toll, and that toll may be a little bit more than normal, but you know what? It's worth the express. That long journey is going to be worth it. But you know what? It was worth coming. It was worth it. I made it home. Man, it took me an hour and a half to get there. Man, it was worth it. Man, it took me 3 years to get there. It was worth it. Man, it took me 9 years to get there. It was worth it. Man, it took me my life to get there. It was worth it. Because as I traveled the road, it was never about me. It was about who was producing the road for me. So guys, if as you look at your life and your journey and the destinations and the places that you're going, look up, realize you've come a long way. No matter what stage you're at. Oh, it's just been a month. Yeah, you've come a long way. You've come a long way. It's been a couple of years. You've come a long way. Stand up today and look around and say to yourself, wow, wow, this is awesome. I've come a long way. And I'm super excited because when I realize I've come a long way, I realize that there's perfection. There's perfection that's within me. Not that you yourself is perfect. It's that God himself is perfect. And he's placed himself within you for a specific purpose. Live that purpose out, guys. Allow God to show that to you so God can take himself through you to the world so the world can get what it needs, so that the world can know who he is. So God, I appreciate you for joining me for this episode of the Account for Life podcast. I'm Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.